Brian Sherrod. He joins us live from the scene with what we know so far this morning. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. This did happen at 2:30 in the 1400 block of 6th Street South right here in Fargo. And what to let you guys know about is that the caller of the home stated that 39-year-old Matthew Florence tried to break into their home, and that's when he had an altercation with the husband of the home. So when they were actually in that altercation, like you guys just said, they did use the stock of the gun to get that intruder off. So to let you guys know, you can also see his photo on the screen as well, that he tried to retreat right after, and Fargo officers found him a short time later. Now he has been arrested and taken to Cass County Jail for attempted felony criminal trespass. Now the Fargo officers say that they did not know each other, the homeowner and the homeowners and the suspect, I should say. They did not know each other at all when he did try to break into the home. But he also did mention that if this intruder, which is Matthew Florence, did try to break into their home, he was going to end up shooting his shotgun. So lucky for him, he didn't get into the home. But this is the information that we know right now. And of course, we'll continue to update you as we receive the latest.
Brian Sherrod reporting live on this breaking news. Thank you. A South Dakota mom is in jail, accused of burning her children's arms with cigarettes. 29-year-old Lisa Young of Sioux Falls was arrested Monday on 3 counts of abuse of a minor.
Police say a relative found injuries to Young's 3 daughters, ages 6, 9, and 11, and then called police. Now Young allegedly became angry with the children and burned their arms with cigarettes. Domestic violence, it's on the rise in the valley, and experts say what's worse is the increase in the severity of that violence. More people are calling on the Rape and Abuse Crisis Center in Fargo for help, and Fargo police report an increase in the number of calls they're responding to.
Comparing each month this year to last, every month except for one since the pandemic began shows an increase in domestic reports. Experts say pressure relating to COVID-19 shares much of the blame, because people are struggling with isolation, loss of employment, and possible increases in drug or alcohol use. It's important to be aware and to trust your gut if something doesn't seem right for you personally or for someone you know. Reach out and ask questions. For more information about how you can find help, we have links on our website, valleynewslive.com, also on our VNL News app.
This is a live look right here this morning from Washington, D.C., where the late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will lie in repose at the top of the steps of the Supreme Court building. Now, it marks the start of 3 days of mourning for the late justice. On Friday, the Justice Ginsburg's casket will be moved to Capitol Hill, where she will become the first woman to lie in state.
Some parents of Fargo Public School students are planning a peaceful gathering against the district's plan to temporarily move both middle and high school students to distance learning next month because of COVID-19. School leaders are reporting 35 positive COVID cases among more than 11,000 students in the district.
A number of parents don't believe that number should justify the distance learning decision, and it makes them worried that students won't go back to the classroom this school year once that change is made. Monday's demonstration will start outside the Fargo Public School District office just before 2 in the afternoon. Halloween is not immune from the new rules surrounding COVID-19, and the CDC is now discouraging most traditional activities. The federal agency is recommending no door-to-door trick-or-treating and no costume masks and no indoor costume parties or haunted houses.
What can work are activities at home, like decorating your house, carving pumpkins, or having a Halloween movie night. Now, this is a hot topic on social media. Head on over to our Valley News Live Facebook page and let us know what you're planning for Halloween. North Dakota is reporting 266 new COVID cases and 3 new deaths. That's a daily positivity rate of 9.14%. 196 people have died. In Minnesota, there are 513 new cases and 10 new deaths, bringing the death toll now to more than 1,900.
The coronavirus has now claimed more than 200,000 lives in the U.S. Experts fear that number will go up as the weather gets cooler and flu season sets in. A leading disease model used by the White House projects the death toll could reach 375,000 by the end of just this year.
It's now 7 minutes before 7. It may not be hot this afternoon, but still very warm. Let's get a check of that First Alert Storm Team forecast with Lisa Green.
That's the case for the southern end of the valley. Northern end, it's going to cool down a little bit more today because we've got some changes happening here in the forecast. We're going to see a storm system roll through, and it's bringing with it a chance for some thunderstorms. And some of us may see a strong storm or two heading into the late night hours tonight. So lighter green area, that's where we're under a general chance for some showers and thunder showers. But in that darker green, a marginal risk low end, but still indicating that we could get some large hail late tonight and maybe even some winds up to 60 miles per hour in that area. So that includes places like Park Rapids and Wadena, and then points east from there as that continues to move on out of our viewing area. And we're already seeing some of that rain and thunder approaching from the west. You can see the lightning showing up there around Minot along Highway 83 as that continues to roll eastward. We'll watch that move into the Devil's Lake area first. Today we're already getting the clouds pushing into that region, and then gradually that will continue on into the rest of the day. Notice there's some breaks in that line too, so there are going to be some places that miss out and other spots that see that thunder shower or shower pass overhead. So cold front with that, bringing about some cooler weather for later today. Right now, a lot of us seeing temperatures into the 40s and 50s. It's 53 in Fargo, 52 in Grand Forks. Not bad to start off your morning. The wind starting to make that northerly turn, and we're going to see some winds picking up once that front is passing through too. So we're seeing some speeds already in the teens up in that Devil's Lake region, up toward Langdon as well. So it's going to get a little more brisk today. So here's a look at that bus stop forecast. This morning, we are starting off with temperatures that are going to be more into the 50s again, as we just saw to start for most areas with some partly cloudy skies. Heading into the afternoon, it depends on where you are. If you're in the west, especially the northwest, you have that potential for rain and thunder happening at that point. So the kids up there, we're going to want to watch out for that. If you're over into Minnesota, lesser chances until later tonight. In between, more partly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the south getting into those upper 70s, so still nice and mild. If you're up north, though, you're looking at some 60s to about 70 degrees there. And hey, it's been a great season so far for fall foliage. Here's the latest from the Minnesota DNR. We're really seeing those colors start to turn, so it's a good time to check them out. Here's one of our photos, the little Sugar Bush Lake area. Thanks, Annie, for sharing your photo. And we've got some fall-like weather coming in the extended planner. Check out next week, 50s, even 60s for highs. So enjoy the milder stuff while you can.
Will do. Thank you, Lisa. Heads up if you're driving on the Columbia Road overpass in Grand Forks over the next several weeks. Crews just started fixing that failed finger joint that we first told you about almost a month ago. Traffic will be down to one lane in each direction.
Work started on the northbound lanes first. Of course, once that's wrapped up, they'll shift over and make repairs on the southbound lanes. Everything should be complete by the end of October. A 26-year-old North Dakota man is dead after being hit by a train while mowing grass. It happened yesterday morning south of Carpio out in western North Dakota. The
State Highway Patrol says the victim was mowing ditches along a highway and was backing up over some railroad tracks when he was hit and killed. His name is not yet released, but troopers do say that he was from Kenmare. An investigation is underway for a narcotics search warrant that brought out the SWAT team in South Fargo.
Police say a search warrant was served in the 900 block of 42nd Street South around 8 last night. No arrests were made. Fargo police are asking for help finding a missing man. 34-year-old Craig Melton was last seen last Thursday in Fargo. His picture's up on your TV right now. Take a look. He was with two men in his red 1999 Saturn with Oregon plates.
He was believed to be giving those guys a ride to Belcourt, North Dakota, but he hasn't been heard from since. Now contact Fargo police if you have any information on where he could be. Despite a big change in budget numbers, leaders with the Fargo Public Schools say no more money will be coming out of your wallets. That's the part of the 2021 tax bill they're talking about. The school district approved the new budget for 2021 just yesterday.
The board gave preliminary approval of the 2021 budget in June, but it had to be adjusted by more than $1 million due to staffing, enrollment, and state aid. COVID has also led to added costs, in part to improve airflow in buildings. District leaders say they're grateful for the extra funding that's coming in and say taxpayers should be as well.
What I think has really saved us are those additional dollars through the CARES Act that we have received. Without those, we would be looking at a very different situation. So those have really helped us to cover those extra costs that we normally would not have.
School officials say this year's budget is especially tricky as things are constantly changing.
Air Force Two was forced to return to New Hampshire yesterday after striking a bird shortly after takeoff. And as you can see in this video, it appears to show the moment that it happened. Vice President Mike Pence was on his way to Washington, D.C. following a campaign event in Guilford.
The plane was in the air for just seconds when it hit the bird. Now the pilot returned to the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport. The vice president then traveled to Joint Base Andrews on a plane usually used for White House cargo.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 4 out of 5 women have asked a total stranger this question.
The answer, I think a lot of ladies, when they hear it, they're going to be like, oh, obviously, yeah.
I have done this.
Where did you get your shoes?
How else are you going to find out if you don't ask?
you gotta know where you can
those shoes.
pick up the same great pair and wear them to your own occasion. Well, you can play along every weekday. Just head to the Valley News Live Facebook page. That's where we have the question.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather is coming up right now on the Fargo CW, and that includes breaking news where a burglar was met with the back end of a shotgun when he tried to break in overnight. We're going to get a live report with the very latest on that breaking story.